大家好，今天是2025年10月的下半月，我们来看一下全球人工智能的5则新闻速报。
Anthropic 发布了开源的 AI 安全审计工具 Petri， 这个框架能用 AI agent 来自动化测试目标模型的行为，以加速安全研究。
Elon Musk's xAI is building an AI that can help create games much faster, in a fraction of the time. I've spent weeks studying everything xAI is planning, and in this video, I'll show you how this new tech could make game development quicker, easier, and more creative, what challenges it might bring, and how it could completely change the gaming world. So let's get into it. Imagine if making a game wasn't about writing code or designing every small detail by hand, but about teaching an AI how the real world works. That's what Elon Musk's company, xAI, is now trying to do with something called world models. World models are special AIs that can learn how things move and behave in real life, like how gravity works, how light bounces, or how people and objects interact. They learn this by watching videos and studying data from the real world. So instead of just showing what something looks like, the AI actually understands how it should act. xAI has reportedly hired top researchers from NVIDIA to train these models, and Musk has said they plan to release a fully AI-generated game before the end of next year. If that happens, it could be one of the biggest changes in gaming history. Usually, making a game takes years. Big studios have to design every level, every character, every tiny movement. Even the best open-world games can take 5 to 10 years to make, but world models could change that completely. Instead of programming every single thing, game developers could just describe how the world should look and behave, and the AI would build it automatically. Want a city where every car moves naturally and every person reacts to you? AI can make it happen in minutes. This means smaller creators, or even one-person teams, could make huge, detailed games that used to take hundreds of people. It makes game creation faster, cheaper, and much more open to anyone with an idea. Of course, there's a downside. When anyone can make a game, there will be a lot of low-quality ones too. We'll probably see thousands of rushed or boring AI-made games at first, just like how there are millions of low-effort videos or AI artworks online now. But that's how progress always starts. When the printing press was invented, it filled the world with bad books before great ones came along. When smartphones came out, there were too many useless apps before we got the ones we actually use today. The same thing will happen here. The best creators will use AI to make amazing experiences faster than ever. Future, where your favorite game doesn't stay the same each time you play. The world could change based on what you do. Characters could learn from you, the story could shift, and the game could grow with your choices. That's what world models make possible. Games that feel alive. And since this is Elon Musk's company, it's not just about games. xAI's bigger goal is to build AIs that understand the world deeply. Using games as training grounds makes sense because games are like small versions of the real world. If they can teach AI how things work in games, that knowledge could later be used in robotics, education, and even real-world problem solving.
Well, the thing is, along with all of these copyright holders being concerned that their content, their things that they own might get stolen from these AI programs, it actually turns out the Japanese government has reached out to OpenAI expressing their concerns over Sora 2. Yeah, this is from IT Media. This is a website. Now, this was in Japanese. I have translated it. The Japanese government requests OpenAI to refrain from copyright infringement following Sora 2 anime-style video issue. So it says, in response to the issue of videos generated by OpenAI's video generation AI Sora 2 that closely resemble Japanese anime works being posted on social media one after another, it has now been revealed that the government has requested OpenAI to refrain from engaging in copyright infringement. Now, this was revealed by Japan's Minister of State for Intellectual Property Strategy, AI Strategy, etc., at a press conference, and this was on October 10th, just late last week. And as far as the reasoning goes, I mean, that's kind of obvious, but the Japanese government, the reason they want to get involved, and it's not just a private company talking about this, that's kind of explained right here. So it says, regarding the issue, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman announced a policy for improvement on his blog on October 4th, but when asked at a press conference whether the government would take action, Minister Kyuchi stated, quote, "Anime and manga are irreplaceable treasures that we can be proud of around the world, and we have requested OpenAI not to engage in any actions that could constitute copyright infringement." And it looks like they stated in this conference, in this statement, that a formal request was made online to OpenAI. And as of right now, this is where we're at with this. I don't know if OpenAI OpenAI has actually responded to this yet. And, out of curiosity just now, I was doing a little tinkering around with both ChatGPT and Sora. I was entering a few text prompts, because believe it or not, ChatGPT, they can also generate pictures, so I don't really know what the difference is between ChatGPT and Sora as far as how they generate images. But what's interesting is that I asked ChatGPT if it could generate me an image that basically involved an IP. It said specifically that it cannot do that. It was very strict about that. It even said it didn't want to use any celebrities, any photos of celebrities at all, because that could be stealing their content or their image.
根据美联社的报道 ，OpenAI 宣布将与芯片巨头博通合作，设计自家的人工智能芯片。OpenAI 和博通两家都在加州，总部相隔不远。这次合作虽然没有公布具体金额，但明确表示，首批定制化 AI 加速器机架将在明年年底前投入使用。这标志着 OpenAI 继依赖英伟达和 AMD 提供的 GPU 后，正式踏上了自研芯片这条战略路线。最近几周 ，OpenAI 已经陆续宣布与英伟达和 AMD 的合作，获得专门用于运行大规模的芯片。它还和甲骨文等云服务商签订了大额协议，来搭建这些芯片所需的数据中心。更有意思的是，这些合作中很多采用循环融资模式，合作方既是技术提供者，也是 OpenAI 的投资方，这让 OpenAI 一边拿钱一边拿算力，也引发了外界对 AI 泡沫的担忧。目前 OpenAI 还没有实现盈利，但 ChatGPT 的每周活跃用户已经超过了8亿，这份流量价值不小。消息公布后，博通公司的股价在周一早盘大涨超过 9%。博通 CEO 陈福阳表示，我们将与 OpenAI 共同开发部署10几瓦规模的下一代 AI 加速器和网络系统，为未来的 AI 铺路。而 OpenAI CEO 山姆·奥特曼也强调，自研芯片是整个生态系统向前推进的关键一环，目标是让 AI 造福全人类。
BlackRock just made a massive move that could turn data centers, real physical assets, into the next trillion-dollar frontier. Let's break down what's really going on. So here's the deal. BlackRock's infrastructure arm called Global Infrastructure Partners is preparing to acquire a company named Aligned. Now, Aligned doesn't make chips, they build the buildings. These are the giant data centers that power everything from ChatGPT to Amazon's cloud to the next wave of AI agents. They choose where to build, pour the concrete, wire the power, and manage the cooling, and then operate these sites like revenue-producing real estate portfolios. Here's the twist. One of the major investors is Mubadala, the UAE sovereign wealth fund. So this isn't about software profits anymore. It's about owning the infrastructure of the digital world. According to Bloomberg's reporting, this kind of move could expand the AI infrastructure economy from roughly $4 trillion in compute demand to nearly $7 trillion. When you include the real-world assets, construction, utilities, energy, and labor. That's the bridge from software to substance. So while everyone's chasing AI tokens, the biggest players are buying up the foundations of artificial intelligence. They're betting the future of AI runs not just on code, but on power grids, pipelines, and data fortresses. And here's the part investors miss. Data centers are now being redefined as income-producing real-world assets. That's the same category driving RWA growth across DeFi, on-chain treasuries, yield-back real estate, and tokenized energy assets. Even Jeff Bezos weighed in. He called this the AI spending bubble that could actually pay off. Because when private equity and sovereign funds pile into physical infrastructure, that's not hype. That's a signal. Every AI company, Anthropic, OpenAI, Perplexity, needs compute, power, and physical space. And those costs are becoming the next investable asset class. Data is real estate, energy is yield, compute is collateral. So while most traders are staring at screens, the biggest funds on earth are quietly buying the land under the servers. This isn't just AI. It's the start of real-world asset revolution. But here's the crazy part. This isn't just for billion-dollar funds anymore. Real-world assets are starting to open up to everyday investors.